Hey gun people, do a quick video on cleaning magazines. Most people have automatics. If you got a revolver, you ain't got to worry about this. If you got a semi-automatic, then you're going to have magazines. And a lot of people don't clean them. So when I say magazine, some people will call it a clip. Some people call it a magazine, stack. There's a lot of terms they use it. Basically what a magazine is this goes down. You put bullets in here, you put it in the gun, and then every time the slide works on a semi-automatic, it slides a bullet in. So a lot of people don't clean these, and it's an important part of your gun that you want to keep clean. Now I probably clean them a little bit more than may needed, or a lot of people do, but I'll still go over and kind of show you how to clean it. So I have one here taken apart so I can kind of go over the, here's what it looks like together, and then here's what it looks like in parts. You got the case. You got the butt plate that goes on the bottom here. You got kind of the butt plate follower, and I don't know if these are technical terms, I'm just kind of making this up as I go. And then you have the magazine spring, and then you have, they call this the follower, because that's what you push down and it loads the bullets. So basically, this is what you see here, goes in here. And I've already cleaned this one. I'm going to take another one apart and clean it. So this goes in here. Then you get your spring. Now when you take the spring out, you want to make sure how it goes and what it looks like so you know it goes into the right. It goes back in the same way. And since I was fiddling around with the camera, I don't know which way the spring goes back in. So pay attention when you pull it apart, because I'm not going to put it together now, because I'm going to pull the other one out and look at it, and then I'll pull it together. So I'm going to slide the spring down this tube. Once the spring's in there, I'm going to put this little pin right here in there with the little nipple up, and the spring will hold it up. And then this little nipple right there on that will go in this hole, which you're going to see how I put it back together. So when I slide this in here, it goes right in that little hole. And that's what keeps your magazine from coming apart. Take it apart, you push something in there and slide this off, which I'm going to do right here. So let me take the magazine that I'm not going to finish putting back together because I'm not sure how the spring goes, and I'm going to take this magazine apart, and then I'll show you how to clean it. So any pin or anything that you can put in this little hole right here, this doesn't slide off until I push this down, and then it slides right off. If you push it down right. I pushed it down too far because I was doing the camera. So you push it down, and then this slides off. I keep all my parts in a little tin thing. Then you take out this piece, which is in there. And because I pushed it down too far, I got it underneath the spring there. I created problems. So it's coming out this way, but that's alright, everything's going to come out anyway. So I take this little pin out that I had to push, that was maintaining the other part. I pull my spring out, lay this in there, then the follower falls out, or sometimes you slide it out the bottom, sometimes it comes out the top. This one just fell out. So basically that's my magazine, this part. And again, I didn't look when I pulled out the damn spring because I was talking. Damn it. We'll take another part here. Stupid spring. So I'm going to slide this one off and see which way this damn string's going in here. This spring's a little... Okay. So, looking at this spring, it looks like the long end goes at the bottom. Okay, so now I know how it goes. So let me move this one aside and let's work on this one. We got one magazine here. Actually, I'll put this magazine back together because I already cleaned it. So I got the follower in there. This is staying at the... Because I just saw the spring, the long part is at the bottom with the hook right here. Now, if you notice, when I take these out, there's two different springs. They should be about the same size. Okay, if they're the same mag. Some mags hold more. This is obviously shorter. But if your spring has been in there for a while and it's been loaded, this spring is compressed. And it stays like this because it's stacked with bullets. So sometimes when you take it out, it's a little short. Some people say, stretch it out a little bit. Other people say, don't stretch it out because you weaken the spring. I don't take my magazines apart, but maybe once every year or two. So stretching a spring once every couple years, I don't think is going to hurt it. If you took it out every week and stretched it and then it compacted and you stretched it, I think you would weaken it. But I usually stretch mine out just a little bit because I want good tension. So I have my follower in here that needs to be laying the right way. Then the spring is going to go in here and put tension, so I have to get the spring in there. Once I get the spring down in there, I'm going to slide the little spring retainer or clip retainer. Remember, nipple up, because it's got to bounce. That nipple's got to bounce into the retaining pin there. So I get that good and in the center. And then this should slide right over. I might have to put down a little bit of pressure because there's a couple little lips here. I have to get this spring to move down a little bit so these grooves right here can get underneath here to hold it. So I've got to be able to push this down. And it's not cooperating. There we go. So I push that down just a little bit so this can slide in there. Now if I just push this quick, you see how I push that pin off? I can push that off. So I have to push this back level. I have to push this down so this slides over it. And it doesn't take much. I can use my finger to do it. And then when I slide, that little clip's going to pop in there from that spring. Boom. And now my magazine's back together. Okay, so that was a clean one. Put that over there. And now I'm going to show you how to clean it. And once I take my magazine apart, the inside of this tube here gets gunpowder and stuff that's when you fire a gun and all the bullets are loading in and out. It's got grooves and it's got holes at the bottom and holes on the side. All those little things collect dust. So I just spray some oil down in there. Take my spring. Give it a little bit of coat of oil. My other parts, I want to give it a little bit of coat of oil. And then I'm going to wipe it down. Now, what I like to do is to use a clean patch so I know how dirty my magazine is. So we have a white patch with no dirt. So I'm going to wipe this off, see if I get any dirt off the follower. Still pretty clean, not that dirty. Actually, that was the retainer. This is the follower. I'm going to wipe my follower off. Some of them are plastic, some of them are metal. Not too much dirt on that. Looking pretty good. I'm going to wipe this off. Not too much dirt. Pretty good magazine. So now I'm going to take this spring here. I put some oil on it and I'm going to clean every groove of the spring. So what I do is I just wrap this around and then I just twist the spring till I go to one side. So I'm holding the cotton around it. It's cleaning all around. It's spreading oil. And that's how dirty the spring was. Got a little dirt off there. So now I only did halfway. I'm going to put it back in there. Spin it the other way to make sure I clean it all the way around. And then once I get that spring twisted through, got a little bit more dirt. So my spring's done. Then I'm going to take, I use two patches just because it absorbs more, but the patch I'm putting in there is pretty clean. So I'm going to fold that over like I'm cleaning the barrel. And you can use dirty patches. I'm just using clean ones to show you so I can tell how dirty the magazine is. Then I'm going to clean the interior of this mag. And I'm just going to slide this through and I'm going to push it against all the walls and basically make sure there's no dirt, unused powder, fragments, etc. And this magazine actually is pretty clean. So this mag probably hasn't had a lot of rounds to it. Because when I pull this out and I show you, the patch is pretty clean. Now this was the patch I did on the first magazine I cleaned. I think it was a little dirtier. A little bit more dirt, not much. So now that I have this done, I'm going to put it back together. Again, I'm going to put my follower in here. Make sure it's laid right. This one kind of falls easy. So it's set like it's supposed to. take my spring the right way. The little end goes down, the big end goes up, because I paid attention when I took it off for the third time. So I'm putting that spring in there. Once I get the spring in there, got to get this retaining little maneuver here to hold it. Remember, nipple up. So it will have something to catch when I slide my follower over. Slide that on there. I've got to slide it in enough to be able to push it down so I can get this into the groove. It's there. I'm going to push it forward, push it down, slide it back. It should go click. It didn't go click. So sometimes it won't go click. Sometimes you pop it. Because it came off and it didn't go click, I'm going to slap back on there. And that time it clicked. So now it won't come off. And that's basically how you clean a magazine. Then I'd wipe down the outside, give it a good cleaning. And now I have 2 clean magazines. I bought these magazines used, so I've got to take all 5 of them apart and give them a good cleaning. Check the springs, make sure there's nothing in there that's broken, damaged, used springs, etc. Check them out, and that's how you clean a magazine. Alright, hope that helps. I'll end that there. Buddy, Miss T, you're good boys.